Yeah, they don't want to leave her in a spiritual sense. They felt like they feel like if they leave her, like they feel like if they move on, they they feel like they'll never be a part of her again. Like it's almost like they feel like if they leave her, it's for good, and they don't want to do that. They don't want to be without their mom, even if it's in a spiritual sense. They just all they have is that. So they're holding on to that because it brings, as long as they can see her and still feel her, they that's enough for them. Like that makes it okay for them. They can cope with being away from her and not actually being able to touch her. But in a spiritual sense, they cannot leave her side. They don't want to move on. They're just finding it very hard to. And they're still not understanding all of what is going on with them, like why they're not able to be here, why they're not able to hug their mom, why they're not able to, have their mom tuck them in the bed at night. Like they just, or see her face physically. They don't understand why they have to detach from this world. But I definitely feel like they just don't want to, and they're not going to anytime soon. They're just not. They're very sad. They're very, very heartbroken and sad that they can't be around her. I keep getting, love. I'm also getting that when the shots were fired and the police approached, the girls was in the room. They were already laid out on the floor, a few inches apart from each other, but they were still by each other. I'm also getting there was a white car in the driveway when the police approached. It could have been a white or gray car. Once the once the ambulance had been called, like once the police were called officially, like the first call to 911, I'm picking up that the mother sensed something was wrong. Something told her to go back to the house. I'm picking up that it just very well could have been her intuition. Something just told her to go back to the house. Something didn't sit right. Um, she was trying to call his phone, but he wouldn't pick up. She was trying to call his phone. She was trying to make some sort of contact. She was trying to, she kept saying he's not picking up. Something's wrong. He's not picking up. They're not, I gotta go. It's just like a radar went off in her. Like she knew she had to rush back home. And I'm also getting that when upon her arriving, caution tape was already around the scene, or they were getting ready to put caution tape around the scene. There was a police officer that approached her, like I'm getting that when the mother arrived on scene, because this was her trying to just come back to the house. She was trying to figure out, you know, why nobody was answering her call. Like why he was, because it's unlike him to not answer his phone. That's one thing about him. He, whenever she did try to call him, even if they were arguing, senselessly, he would pick up or he would text back, whatever. But this particular night, she didn't bother to send a text. I'm getting that she just repeatedly called him, and when she knew he wouldn't answer, that's when something told her to go back home. I'm getting at first she was walking. There was a lot of anxiety going on inside her. There was a lot of emotions running through her. But the biggest emotion that she had was fear. She was there was something kept telling her that something isn't right. It's unlike him to not answer his phone. Go back home. Something has happened. Like, I don't know if she's intuitive. I don't know if she has just a strong intuition, but something told her that something was not right prior to her even, like, she picked up that something had went down even before she approached the house. Like, it didn't cross her mind when this man did this. No, she didn't think for a second he would hurt his own daughters. But when he didn't answer the phone and he didn't call her back or whatever the case may be, no contact, that's when she panicked. That's when she was, in her mind, she was hoping that maybe he had calmed down just a little bit, and maybe it was enough, for her to just go in there and, maybe he passed out and went to sleep or something, or maybe he was taking a shower so that way if she went in the house, or she could easily just grab the girl. She was even willing to leave clothes. Like, she just wanted to haul ass. Like, she did not want to, until he went to go get help for herself. That was her train of thought. Like, she was trying to get her and her girls out of there when that fight, after the fight had broke out. But I'm also getting that she was really in a tough situation, because here's a man that she really is in love with. Like, they were making they were making all sorts of plans together. And they had been together for a long time. So this was not something that was so easy for her to detach herself from. Because regardless of the situation, she really loved him. And I think even so, she saw the good things in him when he could not see it in himself. That's why she held on for so long, because she just knew that, like, she knew what type of background he came from a little bit, and she just felt like, there was some sort of hope. She was trying to really keep her family together. She was really, really fighting to keep her family together.